Welcome to Man Speak. I want to kick this first episode off with the single most important conversation you will ever have. No, it's not your spouse or your partner or your boss or even your kids. It is the conversation you are having right now. The conversation with yourself, your self-talk, your inner dialogue. Here is the hard truth. If that conversation isn't sorted out, nothing else in your life will be. Definitely not your relationships, definitely not your communication with others, because the way you speak to yourself sets the tone for absolutely everything else. Put your mind at ease. This is not going to be an airy-fairy, woo-woo, just love yourself and the world will love you nonsense. No, this is practical and it's real and it applies directly to you listening right now. So let me ask you, how do you speak to yourself? What is the tone of that voice in your head? For a lot of men, it is brutal. You forget something at home and you say, I'm such an idiot. You make a mistake at work. I never get anything right. You feel stuck. I'll never figure this out. Here's the thing. Your brain doesn't argue with you. Your brain just takes orders. Your brain, your subconscious mind, doesn't differentiate between good and bad, between positive and negative, between up and down, whether you like it or don't like it. It just takes what you feed it. It just takes orders. If you tell yourself you're an idiot, it doesn't say, okay, hang on, let's be fair. Sometimes you're actually pretty sharp. No, your subconscious mind says, okay, you're an idiot. Let's find proof of that. And then it goes looking for that proof. That is why negative self-talk is not harmless. It's not just blowing off steam. It is building the very reality you are living in. So the first step to changing this thing is awareness. Please, here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, I want you to just notice the words you use on yourself. Don't try and change anything yet. Just notice. Because until you're aware, you can't do a single thing about it. Think of it like this. If you had a mate who spoke to you the way you sometimes speak to yourself, would you still be friends with him? Well, probably not. So why on earth are you tolerating it from yourself? Here is where the magic starts. Once you are aware, you can start to flip the script. And I'm not talking about delusional positive thinking and affirmations. I'm not saying if you're flat broke, you should stand in front of a mirror and go, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. That is not rewiring, that is self-deception. I'm talking about reframing. And here it goes. Let me give you a few examples. You leave your keys on the table and you have to come back for them. Don't say to yourself, I forgot my keys. Say to yourself, I remembered my keys. See the difference? Same event, same story, different frame. If you freeze in a meeting, don't say, I can't communicate, I can never say what I have to say. Say to yourself, I'm learning to communicate more clearly. If you procrastinate, I think we all know that one very well. Don't say, I'm lazy. I'm never going to be able to start. I'm never going to say, I'm building the habit of taking action. Remember, your brain just takes what you give it. If you're telling yourself you're building the habit of taking action, your brain will start believing it. Language isn't just a description, it is programming. It's an app that you are running. And every time you reframe, you're giving your brain a new command. I quickly want to interrupt myself before I carry on because I need you to know this. If you're listening and you think, Heidi, this is exactly what I need to sort out my inner dialogue, but I also need to go deeper into other areas of my life, my confidence, communication, my habits, my relationships, then this is exactly what I do one-on-one with my coaching clients. I work with men, I work online, so from anywhere in the world, and we don't do cookie cutter stuff. I put together a tailor-made program for you, focusing on what you need. So we can dig into self-talk, communication, confidence, emotional resilience, whatever the case may be, reach out and we will find something and create something that works for you. Real tools that actually shift how you live your life. If you want a taste of that, I've got some free downloads for you. I'll put it in the description box below. It's the Unwanted Emotion Eliminator. It's a short, powerful audio to help you take back control when your emotions are running high. And there is your Superpower Great Communication Cheat Sheet, which will give you a snapshot of how to level up your communication immediately. And you'll both find them on my website. The link will be in the description. Okay, that's enough about me. Let's get back to you. Here are a few practical tricks to start rewiring that inner conversation. Name the critic. Give that negative voice in your head a name, even a silly name, nagging Neville or critical Carl or whatever, something silly, because that takes the sting out of it. Next time it pipes up, you can just roll your eyes and say, thanks, Neville, I've got this. Not today, Carl. Right. Secondly, upgrade your questions. Instead of, why do I always mess up, for example, you can ask, what can I do differently next time? Questions redirect your brain. If you ask lousy questions, you're going to get lousy answers. Replace with truth. That's number 3, not fluff. Instead of, I'm hopeless, say, I'm still learning. That's not delusional, it's accurate. Accuracy is powerful. I never get this right. Say, I'm beginning to get this right. Again, it's accurate. It's powerful. Do this consistently, please, and your self-talk will stop being a weapon against yourself, and it will start being a tool for yourself. So here's your action plan. For the next 24 hours, notice your self-talk. Write down or make a voice note for yourself the harshest things you find you saying to yourself. Well, that was a tongue twister. Write down the harshest things you say to yourself. And the second part of this, pick just one of those and flip the script. Start using the new version. Don't do it next week or when life calms down or whatever. Do it today. Because the conversation you have with yourself sets the tone for every other conversation you will ever have. Ever. Here's my biblical reflection. Scripture ties it all together in Romans 12 verse 2. It says, be transformed. Let me just see here. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The renewing of your mind. It doesn't say be transformed by working harder or be transformed by faking till you make it. It says the renewing of your mind. And that is what we are doing here. We are renewing the inner dialogue. We are giving your mind new instructions. And when you do that, you're not just changing a mood, you are changing your life. So to wrap this up, your inner dialogue is not background noise. It is the script of your life. Change the script and change your story. Thank you so much for joining me on this first episode of Man Speak. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone who needs it. Until next time, take care. Mooi bly.